What's up, Melanated family? This is your boy Harrison, man, with a brand new episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. I'm definitely happy to be with everybody here today. Got a special guest on the show today, just like I did last week. I'm going to try my best to keep bringing guests on the show that I think you guys will be interested in, that have great stories. So again, I'm happy to be here today. Everybody do me a favor, man, and like the video, share the video. I'm going live right now on Melanated Fathers TV on YouTube. We live right now on Melanated Fathers TV on Facebook. Everybody who is listening from the digital platforms, Overcast, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of the digital platforms that I put my show. Thank you guys for listening as well. You know, you can't see us visually, but you can hear what we're doing. So thank you for listening. If you're listening from one of the digital platforms, please leave a review. Leaving a review on the video does affect the algorithms in a positive way. So I like to say that every week, just to make sure everybody understands how important they are to the show. If you're watching it on YouTube or Facebook, share the show, like the show, subscribe to Melanated Fathers TV on YouTube. Help your boy out. You know what I mean? So let's get everything popping, man. It's Sunday. I'm feeling good. You know what I mean? Got my little energy drink right here, so I'm ready to get it going. All right. So first thing I always do on the show is the Black Business Spotlight. The health of our community. A large part of the health of our community, in my opinion, is based on how we spend our money, who we spend our money with, how we spend our money. Spending your money with Black folks is extremely important. Like I always say, I'm not going to advocate just giving your money to anybody because they're Black. It has to be a qualified business. It breaks down to you and another group of people have a particular service that I want. Both of you guys are qualified. The tiebreaker is that you Black. Feel me? We ain't just gonna give our money to somebody just because they look like us. No, you got to do good business because I work hard for my goddamn bread. So I want to make sure if I give you my money, we doing good business. Everything is on the up and up. And I know a lot of good Black businesses who do everything on the up and up. So we're gonna do our best to support them. You feel me, family? So let's get everything going, man. I'm excited. I got a special guest in the house today. I'm gonna let y'all meet him here in a second. So let's get everything popping. The first Black business, let me share my screen so everybody can see what I'm talking about. You feel me? The first Black business is Aku clothing line. Now, if you aren't aware, Aku clothing is T.I., rapper T.I.'s clothing brand. I have a lot of these clothes myself. I really support this brother's clothing line. I talk a lot about fashion for the Black Business Spotlight because we spend a lot of the goddamn money on clothes. We spend a lot of money on fashion. We like to look nice, this is all okay. But if we're going to spend money with Gucci, if we're going to spend money with Fendi, if we're going to spend money with these organizations that may not have our best interest in mind, how about we take some of those funds and spend them with Black folks? So if you look here on the screen, you got a lot of different T-shirts, and it's extremely stylish. It's not real cheap. Some of it isn't real cheap, but like I said, we spend our money with a lot of people who charge an excessive amount for clothing, and we still support them. So this brother has a great clothing line that he's been having for a while. A lot of stylish shirts, pants, of course, hats, couple pair of shoes. But you know, we like to look nice, man, as Black folks. So it ain't nothing wrong with getting dipped. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with putting on your best. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But let's support people who look like us. You feel me? And this is a high-end clothing line. Collar shirts, regular T-shirts. He has jeans. And again, some of the clothing is upwards to like $100, but that's something that we spend anyway. That's something we spend with these other companies. So let's do the same with people who look like us. You feel me? So jeans, joggings, you know what I mean? A lot of the little tight pants the little dudes be wearing. I'm not gonna front. I wear my clothes a little slimmer too. You know what I mean? We used to look crazy back in the day. I ain't gonna lie. Have it on them baggy ass jeans, had us looking like a fool. But you know, at the end of the day, I'd rather look kind of out of place with baggy jeans on than look like I'm, you know what I mean? But the little tight nut huggers on where you can't go into your pocket. But it's a happy medium because again, I wear my clothes slimmer and I'll never go back to wear them the way I used to. You feel me? But in any case, I'm just talking shit. A lot of nice clothes here on the website, as you can see, right? So go to akuclothingbrand.com. akuclothingbrand.com. Shop with somebody that looks like you. Actually, he has the Aku site. He also has the Hustle Gang site. Both of them nice quality clothing. I bought clothes here for myself. I got it in a timely manner. The presentation was great. This is something all of us should do. You feel me? So go to acooclothingbrand.com right now. acooclothingbrand.com. You got a birthday coming up. You got some kind of holiday. You got a birthday coming up. You got an anniversary coming up. You got something like that coming up. Get somebody some fly gear, man, instead of just going into Macy's and spending money with people who don't really give a you know what about us. You feel me? So next black business, next and final black business. Then I'm gonna get to my special guest that I have here waiting so patiently for your boy. You know what I mean? We're gonna do this thing. The next business, this is the local business. I try to mix it with businesses around the country and local businesses because I'm being in Sacramento, California. That's where I'm from right now, or that's where I'm from. That's where I live. Being in Sacramento, California, I want to make sure I support my people who live here as well. And there's great people doing things here in the Sacramento area. So I want to show them some love too, right? So if you in Sacramento, if you've never heard of the African Marketplace, which is located, hold on one second. That's the wrong screen I want to show. Hold on one second. So this is in all actuality, this is actually a small black Wall Street. In every first and third Sunday, let me see here. Hold on one second. Damn, same one. Hold on one second. Every first and third Saturday. Here, let me get you the address. It is a black Wall Street of sorts. Inside of this African marketplace, you can find clothes, you can find jewelry, you can find like legal assistance, you can find food. It's like a little utopia for black businesses. And a lot of us talk about black economics, and we talk about how much we appreciated Black Wall Street. All that's fine and dandy. But if you're in the Sacramento area and you love your people and you ain't been here, you playing. Like, you need to at least go check it out and see what I'm talking about. It's at 2251 Flourish Road. Again, it's in Sacramento. This is a local business located where I'm at here in the Sacramento area. 2251 Flourish Road. 2251 Flourish Road at the African Marketplace. Again, clothes, food. They'll have different speakers that come. They'll have there's like a little store in there, just a regular store where you can get household items. You know what I mean? And it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's been here, I think, like 4 years now. It's getting bigger and bigger. And I'm just proud of everybody who took the time and effort to put that together. You know what I mean? If you are in a different city, right? If you're in a different city and y'all don't have something like this, get together with your people, man. Get together with some local business owners and some people who got some capital and rent out. All you got to do is rent out a building, charge rent for the different spaces inside of the building, and you can get that thing popping, man. We talk about empowering each other. We talk about all the stuff that we need, but sometimes we don't get to it. The people at African Marketplace have put their money where their mouth is to get this thing popping, and it's just a pleasure to see. So if you're in the Sacramento area, please go to the African Marketplace. The African Marketplace at 2251 Flourish Road Drive. This is every first and third Sunday, or I keep saying Sunday, every first and third Saturday of the month. First and third Saturday of the month. Just go check it out. I told somebody about it. I told a couple people about it. And when I said African, they thought it was going to be bamboos there and they was going to be in that motherfucker naked. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, y'all. We got to start associating ourselves with being African as well, because we're not from here. Whether you want to say you Aboriginal or whatever the case may be, originally you came from Africa anyways. So we need to identify where we come from, and I'm all for that. So go to the African Marketplace, 2251 Flourish Road Drive. Check it out. Tell me what you think. You know what I mean? So let's get everything popping. Now, to the interview for today. Conversation, rather. This is my boy. Conversation, rather. Today on the show, my brother, who has been working hard at getting his organization started. He's been working hard at just solidifying himself in our community, and he hasn't given up. You know what I mean? So I said it's really important that I talk to the brother, because he is making legway now. So he's making progress now, and he has a basketball training and skills session that he does every Sunday. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. He plans on getting the AAU team started for the youth. He does a lot of great things with his Got Buckets organization. He's a dedicated father. You know what I mean? Dedicated husband, and really just a black man trying to figure it out here. And he ain't on no bullshit. Excuse my language, but y'all know how I give it up. You know what I mean? So this is a good brother. I want to welcome my brother Herman Carter to the show today. What's going on, man?
Thank you, man. Thank you, man, for having me. Been a long time coming since COVID
Yes,
hit, man. But
yes,
we
sir.
here
Yes, sir.
now. Ready to go, man. Have a conversation with you.
Definitely, definitely. And I want to let everybody know our internet connection. We got a small lag. So bear with us. But I know you can hear him because I'm able to hear him clearly. So I know y'all can hear
Yeah.
him well. So we're gonna get everything started, Herman. Like I said, man, we're gonna go from the top, and I'm gonna kind of just start with your story in general. Like I said, if you're listening from one of the digital platforms, please like, share, leave a review. If you watch it on YouTube, you watch it on Facebook, share it, like it. Let's get it going. So first things first, my guy, tell everybody where you from, because I have listeners all around the country. So tell everybody
Yeah.
where you from, Herman.
Well, I'm from Sacramento, California, born and raised, 916.
Mm-hmm.
Originally from the South Sac area,
Mm-hmm.
but ended up migrating to the North area, going to school at Highlands High School. Uh, Bounced back and forth a little bit. My sophomore year, I went to Kennedy in the South area. Then I bounced back, went back to Highlands. I graduated there in '01. Um, Love basketball, love basketball. I don't know why, but it's just one of those things where I just feel like basketball saved my life. You know what I mean? Kept me out those streets, kept me out of the gangs. But I ran around too. You know, I did crazy little things as well, but I had to make a choice. You
Mm-hmm.
know, either basketball or this. You know, I seen that I was pretty good. Actually, I was damn good at basketball. You know, I was a five-star recruit out in the West Coast. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I mean? But basketball, pretty much the journey of basketball, and just having that in my life made me and gave me a lot of just gave me a lot of energy and life to give back as well to the
Mm-hmm.
people of Sacramento. So now I'm giving back through basketball, you know, and I really appreciate it and I love it.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Okay. So yeah, and we gonna get into got buckets and how you use your love for basketball to start helping other people, which I think is a great thing. You know what I mean? So tell
Right.
me a little bit about like because just so I preface it, my platform when I talk to men, most of what I do is about fatherhood. That kind of just leads back to everything involving in our community. So I like to talk
Yeah.
about family, fathers, mothers, like the core of who we are. Because sometime in our community, when we come from broken homes, when we come from environments that don't allow us to flourish the way we want, there are particular obstacles that we have to get over. You know what I mean? And I'm impressed when I
Right.
see
Right.
come from these environments and still find success and happiness. You know what I mean? So talk to me a little bit about your childhood, Herman.
Right.
Like, did you grow up with your mom and dad in the home?
Um, I grew up with my dad and my mom. Things did not work out with my dad and my mother. My mother moved on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we struggled, you know, we struggled a lot. But through the grace of God, give my mom strength. She was able to get out of that relationship and move on and give us a better life, you know. And a lot of this stuff is touchy, you know, and it's, um, brings me back, takes me back to a place where, you know, I try to forget about, but just can't, you know. But me growing up, you know, it was tough. I didn't really have a a childhood because of the way I was, because of the situation me and my brothers and sisters were in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as far as growing up in the house, you know, there was some yelling, there was some abuse going on, and you know, when we would go places, you know, we couldn't do anything. You know, we would just stay in one place because of the abuse we went through in my household at that time before my mother had left. You know, um, but like I said, it was tough coming up, and you know, my mom had moved on, and she gave us a better life. You know, in in that area. You know,
Got it. Okay.
it is very important. So my mom, you know, like I said, she, you hit me right there, man. You pretty good at it. fuck, fuck, man. Yeah, Harrison.
No, but look, check
tough.
it out. But check it out. I think knowing you now and knowing the mission that you own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your past, it seemed to me, and you can correct me or we can talk about it later or whatever. It seems to me like your past hasn't like ruined your mentality, like it hasn't held you back. Like it seems like you use a lot of the stuff you've been through to push forward. You know what I mean? And that's like a beautiful thing that people need to know about, because it's hard, bro. Everybody don't have the wherewithal to have a tumultuous childhood and smile every day. Or sometimes we have that type of experience. Then when we get in relationships, we do the same shit. Right. You know what I mean? So it's important that we talk about this as men, just so we can let people know we can get through this stuff and still come out on the other end too. Now, one more question about that. Now, after all of that happened, how did your relationship with your father flourish? Like, was y'all still cool? Was it like I ain't messing with him? How did that end up?
Well, I always loved my father, you know, because my mom did not shame him or talk bad about him. All that coming up, she just did it, you know, and I think, and I'm grateful for that. You know, she still allowed us to see our dad, which, you know, he was still there in our lives, but he struggled in areas where he needed to seek help and stuff like that. And, you know, my mom never talked down about my father, and I was still able to keep that love in my heart, even though I couldn't release it to him. But it was here because my mom just never just talked bad about him, you know. So when we did see him, it was always love, you know, and he gave us love, you know. He had to deal with things when we wasn't around at that time, and you know, I just, you know, I'm sure he had got that help that he needed, you know what I mean. So our relationship today is great, you know. I have forgiven all that mess that we came up through, because it's not making me who I am today. You know, I forgave him, and now we have a great relationship. I check on him, you know, make sure he's okay. He checks on me, you know, and we continue to keep that fatherly and son bond, keep it going.
Good. And so look, something you said to me that was so important. Oh my God, it was so important. Black women, understand, Black parents, I'm not just gonna put this on women. Black parents, if you having problems with the mother or father of your child, if they doing things you don't like as an adult, don't talk to your kids about that shit. Don't make the other parent out to be anything, because in reality, the kid is gonna see it themselves. If your daddy or your mama ain't shit, the kid will grow up and they'll see whatever demons that person is fighting, whatever they going through, they see it themselves. You make it worse when you say, "Oh, your daddy ain't shit," or "You act like your daddy," "Oh, you look like your daddy." All this negative shit that can traumatize a kid for the rest of his life. And not only that, you're gonna have him looking at this man or this woman from your vantage point. When actuality, we don't know what our parents is going through. As we become adults, we see how hard this shit is. We are sometimes our parents dealing with trauma from their childhood. They dealing with substance abuse. They dealing with abuse they had to see in their childhood. You know what I mean? When look in our community, when we don't go get help, either professionally or not, that trauma just follows us, fam. If we don't recognize that we was in a harmful situation or a toxic situation, whether in our household or in our relationship, that's going to follow us to parenthood. That's going to follow us to our future relationships. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's important. I salute your mom for keeping that to herself and saying, maybe I got some problems with this man, but I ain't gonna, my kids ain't gotta, they'll find out if it's something about him that they don't like. When they become older, they'll see it. You know what I mean? So that's right, 100 right there, Herman.
Right. Thank you.
You know what I mean? So, all right. So let's talk a bit about, because you mentioned the things you had to go through and the things you had to see, but it seems like you were still able to look at your dad as a human and not vilify him and forgive him, which is extremely important. Like not holding on to certain shit, right? But talk to me a little bit about your fatherhood journey. Like, how many kids do you have?
I have 5 kids right now. Yes, I do. 4 boys and 1 girl.
4 boys and 1 girl. Okay. And what age did you have your first kid?
I was 20. I was 20 years old. Yes.
You're 20 years old?
Yeah.
Okay. And like, how was that for you? Like knowing everything you've been through in your childhood, you finally becoming a man. How did the fatherhood thing start for you? Like, were you, you know what I mean? Were you married to the girl? Were you, you know what I mean?
You know,
Huh?
no, I was not married to her.
Okay. Me neither.
We had a great relationship though. But I was young. I was 20, and I did a few things that, I probably shouldn't have, and trying to raise that kid and having the head I had when I was still trying to make the league, still trying to go to school, but having a kid, I had to put certain things to the side. Yeah. And I had to, grow up, get the job, making sure I'm providing, and fighting that battle and still trying to ball and still trying to have that dream of making the NBA, that was a battle and a struggle for me, because I really truly believe that that's where I belong. But priority was my kid, my girlfriend, the bills. So, learning how to become that man, and that I didn't see really coming up. I had a great stepfather. Had a great stepfather. He helped me to know that a man must provide. So I really appreciate that by him. First things first. So he installed that in me. But as far as the, that struggle and that trying to get over those hurdles and that my dad, I've been through in my early life, it was tough coming up with a son and really learning on the go, learning daily routines with him. Those things was tough on me. Getting up, changing diapers, and not knowing the next move of just growing up with him. He was actually helping me as I was trying to help him become, a man in raising my child. So my child was really a great life lesson for me. He helped me out my first son, Herman Carter. Yep.
Got it. Okay. And like, cause I got 5 kids too. You know what I mean? I had my first 2 children actually when I was 17, about to be 18 years old. So right. I started even earlier than you did. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So talk to me a little bit about like some of the things you learned about yourself going through being a 20-year-old dude with 1 kid to now being much older with 5 children. Like, what are some of the things you've learned about yourself? Like, what's some of the lessons that you had to kind of teach yourself to make sure you can be the best person for those kids?
Well, I know first things first, number one, you got to have patience. I didn't have patience, and I was, I didn't have patience. I couldn't sit still. I needed to be doing something, but my son made me sit down and realize, bro, you can't be moving like this no more. And then when I turned around and had a few more. And so my patience grew more because of the love I have for my children. I didn't want to hurt them. The things I've been through, I didn't want to put them through, So my patience and my love, that stuff grew inside of me for them. You know what I mean? That emptiness that I was trying to give, I wanted for my father, I knew I had to give it to my kids. That emptiness that I had, but then my kids filled those voids for me, that love part, that patience and that love. And, I had to wise up and just be a better person all around. They helped me become through the years, of learning and jumping up and downs, these hurdles and everything. They helped me out, on this journey, So I just feel like that I'm very blessed to come through, with my children helping me out at where I'm at today.
Definitely. And that's important because I think being a young father myself, I didn't have my dad in the home, so I knew how important it was for me to try to be there the best I could. You know what I mean? And I'm just happy now that my kids are pretty much grown that I stuck it out. Like, I think some men, because look, the bottom line is when the kid come home from the hospital, they go home with the woman. Like, as a man, we have the option sometimes. It's not an option you should take, but we have the option sometimes just to check out. Like, I know a lot of men who, because the woman was tripping a little bit, because they weren't mature enough, because they didn't have money, like, whatever reason you want to put in there, they said, fuck it. I'm going to just bounce. I'm going to just not be involved with this at all. And then later, after the years go by, they want to come back and try to be in the kid's life. But I salute you for just trying your best to be there. You know what I mean? Even though, just like me, I didn't know what a man was. I didn't know what I was really supposed to be doing with these kids. You know what I mean? I just figured it out day by day. You know what I mean? I just figured it out day by day. Yep.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, so if you could, like, because we have a lot of young men in our community who are young fathers too, because now we older, we can look back when we were young fathers and say, damn, I should have did that. Okay, I did that good, but I should have did that. You can hindsight's 20/20. You know what I mean? So if you talk to a young father who was wait. Before I ask you that, I have another question. Now, out of your 5 kids, have you had a situation where your kids live in a different house than you do?
Oh yeah, yes they do.
Okay,
yes,
me too. No, me. I'm just confirming. So
yes, they do. You know, and we have relationships. We make sure I see them. You know, for the most part, me and the mothers, we're cordial, we're decent. You know, to each other, and you know, we're raising them the best way we can right now. And
that's what I was gonna ask, because for me, that was one of the hardest parts about trying to do right by them, was I wasn't in a relationship with the mothers no more. And it was difficult for me to navigate that process. Like once I decided that, hey, I'm not going to be in a relationship with them, I'm gonna go get my own spot. Like it was kind of difficult at times. You know what I mean? So did you have those same type of struggles where you got one kid in this household, one kid in that household? The structure in those houses are different. You got to bring them to your house. You know what I mean?
That's a struggle, you know. And it's sad that we have to go through that as, you know, Black men and Black women, that we can't go on one court, you know, and deal with certain things accordingly, you know, because a lot of feelings and things are still involved, you know. But yes, I've had those struggles, you know what I mean? But those struggles are no more, you know, because the peace, their peace, our kids' peace means everything. And, you know, just trying to raise them the right way. Even if we failed in our past, we still can get it right, you know. So that's the main thing, you know, just moving forward and getting it right with your exes or with the kids' mothers or fathers, you know, just putting your pride to the side. Even if they're in another household, you know, break down the rules, talk to each other. Communication is the key, you know, and just try to do right. And so your kids can see you guys working together, you know. So, you know, that cycle won't continue on, you know. So, you know, you parents out there, young parents, you know, you guys put your pride to the side and the Eagles away. It's, you know, it's about these kids right now. Let's get them together and make sure that they don't make the mistakes we made.
That's the truth, bro. That's the truth. And it's funny. It just seems like in certain instances, time kind of heals all wounds. You know what I mean? Now that I'm older and I have 3 baby mamas, one of which that I'm with now, been with her for 18 years. But my 2 other baby mamas, I put these women through hell when I was a young man, like unknowingly. I wasn't trying to. Believe me, I wasn't trying to, but I didn't know better. You know what I mean? And my mentality wasn't right. Their mentalities wasn't right because they didn't have fathers in their house. You know what I mean? So these are like father kids trying to raise babies, it can get convoluted. But over time, we grew up, we got a better perspective on life, and now we just cool with each other. You know what I mean? So sometimes it just takes time.
Right. Yep. Time is everything. Timing and timing.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, so you started an organization called Got Buckets. I want you to talk to everybody about, well, first tell me, when did you first get the idea for Got Buckets?
Well, man, to be brutally honest, I went through a lot, and a lot to the point where, I almost gave up. A lot of my strength had left, and went through some bad things as far as my kids and stuff like that. I haven't seen them in a while. It kind of hurt me, did something to me, and all of a sudden, I just found strength somehow from being homeless. I've been hit rock bottom. I hit, just to be clear, I hit rock bottom. And I started to think like, I don't give up. I'm a strong soul. I'm a strong person. So I started to do what I love to do. I have found strength to get up and go get my own place, and make sure me and my kids had a place to live. Mm-hmm. And I started getting back into the gym. They say a gym is like stress relief. It's true. Mm-hmm. I started working out, praying more and getting my mind right. But most of all, I was in that gym. I started to find my rhythm in the gym, which gave me some life outside the gym. People start, at that time, everybody knew who Herman was out here. I was a baller and hooping, but I was starting to hoop a little harder because of some of the things I went through. So I would take it out on the court, So, and one day, with a few people in there, and I got tired of making shots from her, I could shoot the ball. So I just turned around. I turned around at the 3-point line, had a camera phone, and let's have a little fun. And I'm like, okay, I got this. Toss that ball up, all net. All right. So I'm like, wow, let's try it again. Let's go half court. I walk up half court. Got this. Missed. Brick, right? I'm like, okay. Do it again. Brick. I might have missed that shot, dude, like 99 times. But because of the person I am, the resilience I come with, I believe I can move mountains, Harrison. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100th time. Threw it up. Made it. Got buckets. That's exactly what I said when I made it. Got buckets. And then the kids are in there. They went crazy. Even though I missed it a lot of times, they still were sitting there watching me to see if I was going to make my goals in my life. And I did. Mm-hmm. And that's how I came with Got Buckets, and it stuck with me today.
Got it. Okay. So tell me your primary, because I know it's centered around basketball and your love for basketball. And I think the thing that you say, what is the thing you say? You put the negative behind you. Say it. What is the thing you say?
Okay. Well, you toss the negative behind you and you make your goals in life. Got buckets.
That's dope. Yeah, and I've seen you make that shot and then say that. I'm like, yeah, that's a cool ass commercial.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's catchy and I love it. It's empowering. And it gives you a lot of motivation, make your goals in life. Got buckets.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. Now, tell me some of the plans for your organization, because I understand the basketball component, which I've been thankful and blessed that I can help you out and come and just support everything that you're doing. Right. So tell me, what are the future plans for the organization?
I'm glad you asked. Talking to a few coaches, but this was all in the plan years ago, because Got Buckets, it was on the back of basketball. But I believe that you can score in other ways. There's more goals than just a basketball goal. So
Mhm.
our future is to branch off to other sports. We got buckets. I want to see kids do they get out of the norm. I want to be one of those pillars that get kids out of the norm of doing a regular football, basketball, baseball. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and start a soccer got buckets team. We're gonna start a lacrosse got buckets team. We're gonna start a cornhole got buckets team. These are some of the games that people are starting to go to because they're fun games. I'm doing a little research on them, and they're on ESPN just like basketball. You know,
Mhm.
they're national just like basketball, football. You know what I mean? So we plan on branching out not only to sports but to the youth. We plan on getting a stump female lady got buckets program together. We're reaching out to the young ladies as well. We're going to be a teen summit out here in Sacramento, California.
Okay. Okay. Now, currently, I'm you know, assisting you with the skills training and development that you're
Right.
currently doing. So tell everybody a little bit
Right.
about that.
Right now, we're doing a 8-week program. This is our 6th week today. Thank you for coming out and helping me. We're getting these kids together. We're getting them in shape. We're getting them the fundamentals of basketball. COVID hit really hard. So I said, hey, you know what? With a couple of friends that helped me push this, hey, let's get these kids together. Let's get them out and running and start a basketball camp. So not only are we training them, giving them the fundamentals first of basketball, but we're mentoring these kids. We're making sure they're being good in school and making sure they're being good at home. That's the main thing we focus on. But basketball wise, we are trying to get them mentally and physically prepared for our upcoming season.
Mhm. Okay. And I think that, so it's two ways that I feel about like sports in the African American community or the Black community, melanated community, however you want to put it. I think
Right.
that sometimes in our community, as parents and even as the children, sometimes a kid will focus too much on trying to be like an athletic superstar, right? So they'll let their schoolwork go by the wayside, or they won't look at like other options in life, right? And that's one part of it. But also from playing basketball since I'm like 10 years old, all the way up through high school, I understand like how much I learned. Like not just about basketball though, like being a leader, like dealing with
Yeah.
deadlines, like being a team player. Like if you work any job or if you're part of any organization, being a team player is really high on the priority list. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if
Right.
you're successful at sports, for the most part, you can transition some of those skills into something that can benefit you in life. And I like what you said, because I didn't know this part, but I like what you said about expanding to got buckets with crochet and soccer and all these other sports, because there's a lot of other activities out there, not just
Right.
basketball, baseball, and football. But you're
Right.
right, in our community, for whatever reason, we get
No.
locked into these particular sports, and sometimes we look at the other type of activities as being less than. You know what I mean? But you're
Right.
right. These sports is on ESPN. I mean, shit. Soccer players make more money than everybody. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I think that's important. You know what I mean? So I think that's important that you want to incorporate all of these things just to help the
Right.
kids out. Now today we gave out backpacks
Yes, we
at
did.
the, at the event. Do you plan on doing more of those type of things?
Oh, most definitely. Thank you for that again. The kids loved it. They enjoyed it. We was able to get about 20 today.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking to do 40 next week. So,
Mm-hmm.
these resources are coming. They're coming now because Got Buckets is coming, and they see the good things we're doing. So people are starting to share their resources with us, and we started to
Yep.
get back to our community.
Yep.
And I can't wait to see what's next on this agenda for us. So yes, we are starting to give that back backpacks, as you see in the background here, and I want to thank a couple people. I forgot my friend's job name, but I'll get that together. His job, but they blessed us with those backpacks, and they plan on blessing us again. So,
okay. Now, another question I have, because I seen, because this, I'm not gonna speak to you like I haven't been around you the past couple weeks. I've seen how you like the enjoyment, like that I see in your eyes when you putting this stuff together, when the people are coming to you. Like, tell me, because I'm one who puts on events and does things for other people, right? Tell me, like, how does it feel, bro, to give people something that they can come to, like to give kids hope? I know you're dealing with all those emotions inside, bro. So tell me, how has that been feeling for you?
To be honest with you, brother, it was a little bit like not weird, but like a little like, wow, I'm used to being an employee. Now I'm the boss. So it's like, okay, let's walk in the boss shoes. Okay. But it really, it makes me feel good that these people are smiling and calling me coach. And the things I used to do to the coaches and the people that I used to run up to and ask, hey, what's next? And where do I go? And so I just think about, some of my coaches, the grandfathers and the men that came in my life, in my past time that was helping me, but now they're coming to me and I'm able to direct those kids in a good way. So it really makes me feel good in the inside, man. And that's all I really want, is to give these kids a good outlet and for them to have success in whatever they choose to do. But right now, we're doing it here in Got Buckets, and we're guiding these kids in the right direction.
Definitely. So a few more questions for you, brother. So us being like Black men in this country, with everything that we have to go through with this system, with individuals in our own community, like what, not advice, but what information would you give to like a young Black man who's trying to navigate this society, right? Who's trying to do his best. He may didn't have the best childhood, but he's trying to do his best, because ultimately, Herman, we don't want to see no more of our brothers in jail. We don't want to see no more of our brothers getting caught up in stupid street shit, right? But we understand sometimes how these environments breed this type of activity based on your childhood, based on your parents being on drugs. All kind of shit can happen to you, right? But what would you tell a young man who may be going through some of this stuff? Like, what kind of information could you give them to help them get through it? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, unfortunately, I know a few people in this position, and I've reached out to them. And, I want you to get around good people. That's what I would tell them. I've been telling some of my friends, hey, you got to leave that alone, and you got to get over here where some good-minded people are trying to do good things. You know what I mean? You get caught up with them that's doing wrong, man. Hey, that's the name of the game. You're booked too. So I would just tell these kids just to, hey, stay from afar. Those guys that's running around here, gang banging and all that stuff, hey, that's not for you. It's going to take you down a road that you may not be able to come back, and like I said, being around the right people, because you can be around good people that's doing good things, that's probably the number one thing you need to be around, and, just focus on yourself and stop being a follower, be a leader, focus on yourself. Focus on what you have to do and stop worrying about what other people got going, because at the end of the day, you have to show for yourself, and if you don't have it to show, that just means that you wasn't putting in the work to get there. We all got work to do. So, if you're out there running around, man, I just want you guys just to wise up, sit down and just take a look back over your life, so you guys can see what's going on, because if you keep running around, you're not focused, you're just too busy running around doing whatever. But if you sit there for a while and think about how many bad things you've done versus how many good things, you might be able to get a happy medium and choose the good things over the bad things.
Definitely, definitely. I completely agree with everything you saying, bro. I'm sensitive to what some of the young men go through in our community because I've been there. But at the end of the day, it is about decision making. Like you got to make better decisions. And sometimes when we don't have that male figure around, it's easy to follow people that you think got your best interest in mind. But you got to be a leader. You got to like forge your own path and be a forward thinker. Like be able to think about the future and like envision your life 15, 20 years from now. Sometimes we get so caught up in struggle, like the immediate struggle of our life. We just thinking about eating tomorrow. You feel me? We ain't even thinking about when we're gonna be 35 and 40. We're not even thinking about living that long, and that's extremely unfortunate that a lot of our young men have that attitude. But you're completely right, bro. Like focusing and taking your time to be yourself are all qualities that all of our young men need to encapsulate in their life, brother. So I appreciate you coming on the show today. So before we go, tell everybody if we have any mothers out there, any parents that are in the Sacramento area. You said we were on week 6 today. So we 2 more weeks of the skills training.
Yes, 2 more weeks. Next Sunday coming up, we'll be at the Meadowview Community Center from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Following that, next week we'll be at downtown at 10th and P, the Sacramento Kings basketball court. A lot of people know where that is. So if you do have trouble finding out everything, I will be posting on my Facebook. You can reach that at Herman Carter, or you can go to my business page, Got Buckets. And on IG, I am Herman Got Buckets. You can follow those pages. You can see all the information I'm giving. We're also doing the backpack giveaway as well. I have T-shirts. I have merchandise for the kids. And, come support your local basketball player, man. Herman Carter Got Buckets. Thank you.
Definitely. So I want to thank you again, brother, for coming on the show. We definitely going to do this again at a future date. I'm going to continue to support everything that you're doing and just make sure you know that you got an ally in me, bro. And I'm going to be there for you. I want to thank everybody for tuning into another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast with my boy Herman Carter. Like I said, hit that like button, hit that share button. If you haven't subscribed to the Melanated Fathers TV YouTube page, you plan, because not only do we have this show on the YouTube page, we have a History Matters section where I break down different times and places from history. We have the In the News section where we're talking about real news going on in the Black community, not no rumor, gossip type of bullshit, but the real things I think we all need to think deeply about. So again, thank you again, brother, for being on an episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. We out.